I think it's so funny when people use random objects for their mic holder. Look at this postcard that I made. Today we are drawing Pokemon with acrylic markers. Okay, coffee table, kind of messy, but I want to film here because the lighting is really nice today, and I feel like I haven't really shown you guys the living room, so maybe this is the time to record out here. No, for real though, I need to clean this up. There's like so much junk. I'm like halfway through packing my Patreon orders. I have some extra merch here from like conventions and my online store. But this is the couch area that we usually hang out at. So we have some decorations on the wall. There's a giant neon sign that I made. You can also get that actually on my website. And then here's the babies just chilling. There's like a nice window for them. Hi, Nori. Here's Calcifer. He's kind of skinny this week. We left him at a cat sitter because we went to a convention recently, but I think now that he's back home, I'm gonna try to really feed him a bajillion so that he can gain weight and be healthy again. Right, Nori? Say hi. While I clean my desk so that I can have a place to film, let me catch you up on some little things about this marker set. I actually have an extra set, and if anyone is interested, all you have to do to participate and have a chance to win this giveaway is comment below on your favorite thing that you like to draw. Look at my coffee table. I love that you can pull it up to use it as a desk, and also inside it's used for storage. And with that, I'm gonna get into the markers themselves. So I've used this brand before, and I've made other videos with the same markers. This is the 72 set though. What's nice about these is that it comes with way more colors. It comes with these extra nibs because the original nibs themselves are these thicker versions, but you can replace them with these thinner versions if you want to adjust your own line strokes and make the illustrations thinner. For the purpose of this video, I did not use these tips. I just used the thick ones because that's what I wanted to do. But I do like that this set comes with that flexibility. It also comes with this coloring sheet so that you can see what the colors actually look like and swatch them. I like to swatch directly in my sketchbook. This is the book that I use in most of my videos and in my daily sketching. I like that it's bleed proof, and it's actually my own brand, so currently out of stock, but I will restock it this summer. And thanks for everyone that did pre-order on my website, peakart.com. So the instructions are on the markers themselves. You just gotta shake it first to get the ink flowing. And then once you shake it, you'll see that there's no colors right now, but you'll press onto a surface and then the ink will slowly come out, which is really cool. And again, it doesn't bleed through this paper. Generally, it doesn't really bleed through any paper unless you're using like a ton of acrylic paint. And I love seeing the ink flow out of the marker. I think that's really cool. So here I'm just picking a couple colors that I want to do. Hi, Shippo. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start drawing my Pokemons. I'm not gonna say which ones. Maybe you guys can guess which ones I'm drawing, but I like to start out with a base, and because these markers are paint and they are opaque, you can layer on top and just go ahead and add colors without either mixing them or that they're transparent. Personally, I'm someone who's not very good at weighting, so sometimes when the paint, like the first layer goes on and then I add a second layer, it starts to blend. So you can kind of see in this yellow area, it started to blend with the red-orange. I recommend waiting, but if you're impatient like me, that's okay. You can also go back and just layer it again with the acrylic paint, which is usually what I do because, like, one, I can't wait. And so I just want to see what it looks like. But yeah, two, you can just go back. I'm going to use this Pop Mart bag from the Nyota collection and just kind of put it into my sketchbook and junk journal. I didn't open this one, but look how cute she is. I actually ended up buying the entire collection because I loved all of them and I needed all of them. But I want to show you guys that you can actually use any other surfaces to use these acrylic paint markers on. I'm demonstrating with this bag. It's kind of like, what is this material? It's not plastic, right? It's like, okay, whatever the material is, it's very shiny and crinkly, but the markers work very well on it as well. I do recommend waiting a bit for it to dry, but again, if you're like me and you can't wait for it to dry, that's okay, because at some point it will dry and then you can just go over it again with the markers. But I'm gonna draw this iconic baby here, and notice how the markers go really well onto this material. This is my favorite version of the character just because he's kind of plump and I like the plump shape, but I think they ended up giving this character a neck throughout the series because it was easier to animate instead of animating a blob, you know, but we stan the 1995 version of him. So I'm drawing the blob version. I'm adding some shine. I like adding white as shine. It's kind of nice contrast for the rest of the illustration and the colors. I'm gonna try to use the colors that I used previously on the first Pokemon and just do that for all of the Pokemon. I think it'd be cool to have a cohesive page where I'm just using like 3 to 4 colors. I think probably my favorite part other than doing line art is scribbling in the colors. I'm not huge on coloring the entire surface area with, you know, like consistent coloring, so I like scribbling like this. I feel like it's very freeform and it doesn't have to be perfect. And because I'm impatient, I can just move on really quickly. All right, I'm gonna add the cheeks. And oh, yeah. Okay, so like I said, as a byproduct of not waiting long enough for the ink to dry, the ink is now spilling onto the other colors. So I'm gonna fan it and just wait it out and maybe start drawing other Pokemon. All right, this next one is, it has a special place in my heart. I don't necessarily like the species, but I don't know, maybe childhood. So I think also I am not super caught up with Pokemon, so I don't know a lot of the new ones beyond Black and White. I didn't play Black and White. Do I even have the game? I'm not sure. I did get Diamond. Wait, oh my god, not Diamond. Sword and Shield. And I played for like, I want to say 20 to 30 minutes into the game. And this was in between like buying a bunch of games. So on the Switch, my first game was Let's Go Pikachu, just because the cover was really cute. So I played that one, I finished it, and then it's not like I got it on release or anything. I bought the Switch a lot later than everyone else did. And then I ended up buying like Hades and probably a Zelda game. Zelda's my favorite. And then I bought Sword and Shield and I played a little bit. And then I remember the pandemic hit and Animal Crossing came out. So I stopped playing Sword and Shield. And then, yeah, just played Animal Crossing. And that's why I never finished Sword and Shield. But maybe I'll get back into it if anyone recommends the game. But I heard Black and White had a good story. Is that true for anyone that's played? Anyways, for this Pokemon, is it a mouth or is it a nose? I don't know. Okay, now that this section has dried, I can go back in and color in the areas that it was bleeding, and you'll see because the paint is opaque, I can just easily go over it. I like doing this thing where I'll lightly outline the illustration with one color, and then maybe I'll go back in and outline it with a different color. But for now, I'm using this blood orange, and it's giving like a nice effect. And then now I'll go in with the blue and just kind of go over some of the lines, maybe arbitrarily. I don't know. There's like no reasoning to why I'm choosing these areas other than I like to think of like dark colored areas. So because the patterns in the back and the tail, they're like typically this brown, I'll go over it with the blue instead, and then go over the blue in these quote unquote darker areas, kind of like if they were shadows. And of course the eyes and the face, just to make it pop a little bit more. I feel like I drew the eyes kind of far apart, so they're a bit bug eye, but that's okay. I also like going back to my other illustrations because the blue that I was using kind of smudged in with the other colors. So now that it has completely dried, I can just go back, use the blue again, and now the blue is more vibrant, which is nice. I do like that these markers are forgiving. I want to say out of all of the arts series, like I've tried the sim tap, I've tried the thin tips, I think in the one of the previous videos. I think these ones are my favorite because I do enjoy the thicker nibs, and I like that this set specifically has the thin nib replacement, so that's super nice. I think it's because scribbling is very easy with them, and I'm a scribbler, so you can also work big. I think my next project will probably be big. There's a bowl that I've been meaning to paint, so I think I'll do like a base layer with some actual paint and then maybe go over with the markers so I can get some details. There's a skateboard that I want to finish. I started a while ago and I just never finished it because I think I was stuck on color. Out of everything, I think usually my vision comes with the line art, like the concept of what I'm making first, and then I usually have a hard time picking color. So I'm kind of surprised that I even landed on these 4 colors that I use for this spread at all. What I like to do to fill the page is add these sparkles. I feel like adding sparkles is just so easy to do to fill the spaces. What do you guys do to fill your spaces if you do at all? I think other things I like to draw are like knives and flowers, persimmons. So I feel like sparkles is the easy go-to. But I'm finishing up this Pokemon by coloring in all the dark areas with the blue again. I think that's one suggestion I would have if someone was wondering, how do you pick where to put your colors? I think just follow a pattern. So if you want your dark areas to be a specific color, in my case I'm using blue, then just stick to that. And then if you want the lighter areas to be another color, so in my case that would be this yellow, then again just stick to that. And so I tried to do that with all of these illustrations. I wasn't super consistent, but I think it worked. Here's the final spread. I hope you guys enjoyed this draw with me, and I don't know, maybe you were drawing along, maybe you were studying too. But thanks so much for watching. Again, if you want to be a part of the giveaway and you want this 72 color set, all you got to do is comment below what your favorite thing is to draw, and then I will reach out to you and yeah, we'll go from there. I'll see you guys next week. I post every Monday, 12 p.m. PST. Bye!